Hello, good day everyone. Today, we are going to learn about the barriers to creativity. To define creativity, it is the ability to develop new ideas and to discover new ways of looking at problems and opportunities. So, what is it that keeps children, teenagers, or adults from exercising their potential? Today, let's learn about the commonly identified barriers to creativity. We have the historical, biological, physiological, sociological, and psychological barrier. In the historical sense, the following example will give reason for an individual or society not to attempt the new. For example, from the ancient Greeks, there was Plato maintaining that history repeats itself. He wrote so convincingly of the circles of civilizations, repeating themselves that to many it has seemed futile to attempt any changes. It is technological advances in the recent past and in the present that leave average people feeling that they have little control over their own lives. From a biological point of view, some scholars insist that creative ability is a hereditary trait, while others maintain that environment is the major factor. Inherited genes do play a role within the measures of any kinds of intelligence, but too often, in the case of creative intelligence, heredity seems to be more excuse than actual fact. Physiological barriers can exist through types of brain damage one might incur through disease or accident. Or, one might have a physical disability of some sort that prevents certain types of productivity. Most certainly, our social environment affects our creative expression. A society shares a set of morals and traditions and is characterized by collective activities, interests, and behaviors. Often an individual member feels that it is immoral to deviate from the norm, to appear to differ with the written and unwritten laws of a particular group. Psychological barriers by far is the most significant and prevalent barrier. They are the ones that demand the most attention from teachers of creative behavior. We have 6 psychological barriers here. First is the self-imposed barrier. The self-imposed barrier is one of the more difficult barriers to recognize. We put it up ourselves either consciously or unconsciously. Next is the conformity or giving the answer expected. The barrier of conformity follows the previous barrier wherein many managers feel they have conformed to the patterns established by their colleagues. Another barrier is the lack of effort in challenging the obvious solution. Any new idea is automatically rejected, almost without consideration. This barrier, evaluating too quickly, is not an easy one to remove. That's silly, that won't work, or we tried it last year and it didn't work are common phrases. Idea is then buried and a chance has been lost to develop new approaches. Fear of looking like a fool is the biggest barrier of all and the most difficult to remove. Nobody likes being laughed at, and as a consequence, we tend to avoid putting forward the silly or wild ideas in case we are laughed at or thought foolish. Fortunately, creative people are prepared to take risks. They are not discouraged by criticisms and, of course, are highly acclaimed later when their ideas are found to be sound and workable. Thank you for watching. See you on our next